Hello, everyone. We're back. It is the Saturday after Thanksgiving. We're stuck in O'Hare International Airport. We're waiting for our flight, and we're going to talk about Planes, Trains, and Automobiles from 1987, directed by John Hughes and starring Steve Martin and John Candy.
John Candy.
Why are you holding my hand? Where's your other hand? Between two pillows. Those aren't pillows.
In a new film by John Hughes. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
See that Bears game last week? Yeah, hell of a game.
Only Thanksgiving movie I've ever seen. And I just watched it last night, so.
For the first time?
Yeah, first time.
Oh,
Nice.
This is a classic in our house.
Yeah, it's a great movie. Carlos, you've seen it before?
Oh, yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Nice.
Anytime somebody brings this movie up, I think of that hotel scene where he's getting out of the bathtub and there's no more towels.
Right, yeah.
Or the scene where John Candy turns into the devil.
Oh
while they're
my
driving.
God,
Love that.
that's one of the best. That scene is so great.
That whole driving sequence.
You're going the wrong way. Oh yeah, he's drunk. How does he know what way we're going?
Yeah.
Thank you. That's so funny. Yeah. Yeah. Oh
Boozing.
my God, it's so great.
There's a lot of good bits in this one, though. I watched it this morning and I was still cracking up.
There's really not a boring part.
Mm-hmm.
It's always funny. There's always something. The beautiful thing about this movie is everything just never goes right for them.
Yeah.
Nothing goes right, really.
I was wondering when it would stop.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh my God, did they like catch a break? I mean, they have to.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful disaster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you guys like John Hughes movies? Sometimes I almost kind of forget this is a John Hughes movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always, whenever I think of John Hughes, I think of his teeny bopper movies, which are great.
Breakfast Club.
Breakfast, 16 Candles, Weird Science.
Ferris Bueller's Day
Yeah.
Off.
Yeah.
I haven't seen most. I mean, I've seen Breakfast Club, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Weird Science.
You ever see Uncle Buck?
I've not
with
seen
John
Uncle
Candy?
That's
Buck.
it. Oh, you should. That's a good one. I need to rewatch that. I haven't seen that in forever.
Apparently, that film ends with the same shot where John Candy's just smiling at
Oh,
the
really?
camera.
That made me so sad, man. Watching it, it's such a sad.
It feels like an
Like,
in memoriam.
Hey, yeah, I know. That's the weird part. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, it's really sad. I mean, both of that's the thing too. John Hughes, we were talking before we recorded. He's been passed away for probably like 15 years now. John Candy's been dead for like 30 years, I want to say.
Wow.
But yeah, sad. Yeah, 2009.
John Hughes died at age 59.
59. I think John Candy was even younger. I think he was like in his 40s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I remember when my dad told me.
That John Candy was dead.
Yeah, because I'd watched Spaceballs. I
Right.
watched a lot of Spaceballs as a kid.
That's
and
a good one.
I was like, hey, is that guy in any other movies? He's like, oh yeah, well he's dead now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, he's been dead for a long time.
Yeah.
that's sad.
1994,
Yeah, it's very sad.
John
Almost,
Candy
almost
passed.
30 years.
Oh my God, I was born in 19.
Me too.
He was
We are the reincarnation.
yeah.
John Candy. Oh my
He was
God.
born on Halloween. That's cool. Ties in with his name, I suppose.
Yeah.
I always
Wow.
like his look. He's never looked like this ever. Like he's only looked like this, and like he doesn't look like that. Like in the movie, it's like they permed his hair. Like he has
Really?
like such a funny look in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Hmm.
It's the only movie I've seen him with a mustache.
Yeah, and that too. Like he's just so goofy looking in this. Like the cab.
Oh, yeah. That scene's funny. Just looking up. Like,
Oh my God.
Son of a bitch, this is my cab.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
I didn't realize this is just one director, John Hughes, doing all these like classic 80 films.
Right.
Breakfast
Yeah.
Club, 16 Candles. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
I know he did a lot. He wrote a lot too. He wrote like the vacation movies and the Home Alone 1 and 2.
Mhm.
Oh,
And
wow.
what else? Pretty in Pink, like a lot of stuff.
He was the 80s man.
Yeah.
He wrote, directed, and produced this movie.
Yeah.
According to the credits.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's very impressive.
That's wild.
He's a great writer.
He was for a time.
Yeah.
Then he made Home Alone 3.
No, did he really?
He just did that. Well, he wrote it.
He
I think.
wrote Home
Well,
Alone.
he co-wrote it. I think that was just like
Cash grab?
exactly. And
Yeah.
hey, you know what? John Hughes deserved it. He deserved the money.
Cash out, baby.
If I were him, yeah, I mean, I guess like no more Macaulay Culkin or any of the other.
It's just like,
Different
hey, you want to make
characters.
another one? All right, I'll take a few bucks. Should we go over the plot? Should we just talk about?
Yeah, what's the plot? Just run it down real quick.
It's basically Steve Martin's just trying to get home to Chicago from New York.
Yeah, pretty
and
much.
He runs into John Candy and hilarity ensues.
And Kevin Bacon.
What do you guys think of the Kevin Bacon part?
That's a good cameo.
It's so random.
It's great.
It's so random.
Randomly great.
Ferris Bueller's dad is Steve Martin's coworker in the beginning. The guy's like, "You'll never make the 6." It's like, thank you, Ferris Bueller's dad. I forget the actor's name.
I think I was reading in the facts that there's a Kevin Bacon film showing in the hotel that they're staying at.
Oh, really?
And it's not even released yet, or at the time of the film.
It's John Hughes' movie, right? She's having a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Me neither. No, yeah, but that's kind of cool that Kevin Bacon cameos in this one, and then he was on the
next
TV,
movie that he did.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yeah,
because I always wondered that. What the fuck is Kevin Bacon doing in this? He shows up and just like races him to a cab that takes it.
There's a lot of familiar faces though.
The lawyer from Jurassic Park.
Yeah, Martin Ferrero.
He's like, would you like a room? He's like, do you have a fancy watch and $17? No, but I have a Casio.
Runs it across his hand.
Yeah, he's like, whatever you want to call that.
Trying to hawk it,
model it.
Yeah. So funny. Michael McKean.
They cut a lot of his stuff out, apparently.
Oh, really? He was a state trooper.
Yeah, he's like fourth listed, and he's only in it for maybe a minute. Yeah, they cut apparently a lot of his stuff out, which is a bummer, and they didn't include it on this just came, as we're recording this came out the Tuesday before, and it's very prominently displayed on the over an hour of never before seen deleted and extended scenes. And it was very cool to see after watching this movie for a very long time. It's cool seeing all those. I'd heard there was a 3.5 hour cut of this movie, and they cut it down to 2 hours, and they tested it, and then they cut another half hour out, and that's what we have in the final film.
The total run time's like 1:30.
Yeah, which is it's a very well paced movie.
Yeah,
I'm sure it needed to be cut. All the stuff needed to be cut out, but there's some really funny stuff in the deleted scenes that I got a crack. Not all of it works, but there's some stuff in there that I thought was pretty funny.
Like they explain, they don't explain, but they show you in one of the deleted scenes we were watching beforehand. John Candy and Steve Martin, they're in the bed and they crack open a beer and it spills all over the place.
So that whole scene, do you remember the guy that steals their money in the middle of the night?
Who is that?
That's the pizza delivery guy. He delivers the pizza to them.
I was wondering why he just randomly
the David Spade looking dude. I always just figured it was just a guy that broke into or maybe just he was in the motel and just looking to get some quick cash and just broke into their room. That's how it plays in the movie.
Yeah.
But so he delivers the pizza. It's so funny, dude. There's so much to the scene. So he delivers the pizza. It's $19, and John Candy's like, $19? Boy, oh boy. And he's like, well, you ordered corn and garbanzo beans on it. We had to charge you actually the deluxe price. And I told my brother, I'm like, that's like the average price now for a pizza, $19. But in 87, I'm sure that's probably $40 now. But so he gives him a $20 bill, and he's like, what, $1 tip? He's like, yeah, and don't spell it all. He says, just like, yeah, he's like, that pisses him off. He's like, this is only like a 5% tip. He's like, some people aren't even lucky to get a tip. This, that, and the other thing. And he gets pissed off and he leaves. And then Steve Martin gets out of the shower and he's like, well, I thought I asked you to order me a salad. He goes, oh, they didn't have any. So everything that they put on a salad, I just had them put on the pizza. And he's like, I saved you a slice. He eats the whole thing except for one slice. And in the trailer, you can see him eating the pizza. Right. And then the delivery boy, when he first gets there, he's like, where am I supposed to put this? Like, just throw it on the bed. And the bed's vibrating. And he puts it down and there's beer, and that's how the beer gets shaken up. So technically it's not even John Candy's fault that the beer got shook up in a way. But yeah. And then he's got that great line when he's like, Steve Martin's like, the beer's warm. He's like, hey, well, it comes out warm. What difference does it make what temperature it goes in? Just a very funny line. And then they open the beers and it goes everywhere. And I was telling you, Carlos, it almost kind of works a little better in the final film where it's just like out of nowhere, like, you know, they're trying to sleep, and he goes, I didn't know those beer cans were gonna blow like that. He's like, you left them on a vibrating bed. What did you expect? It's just a long day, you know. It just didn't cross my mind.
I think it works super well that they don't show it happening.
And he's like, yeah, now I have to sleep in a puddle because you know that it slipped your mind. I have to sleep in a puddle of beer.
Because you can only imagine like what that scene was.
Exactly. It's almost like in your mind, it's almost kind of funnier. It's like, what the hell happened?
Yeah. Because in the deleted scene, it kind of explodes, and they're like, oh man. But if you don't know that, it works a lot better. You don't know what happened in that room.
And it just really sets up why he's robbing them. It's because John Candy screwed him out on the tip. So it kind of makes sense why he's robbing them.
Yeah.
But it still works in the movie. You know?
Works
I still like seeing all that stuff, though. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Good old fun. Good old family fun.
I think this movie works as just an hour-and-a-half film.
Yeah.
I think if it was longer, I might get a little annoyed. Like, how long are we going to travel for, man?
Right.
How long can you make a movie about traveling, getting home?
The other scene, we watched a little bit of it online. There's more to it where he's just like, it's right when they see Steve Martin down on the plane with John Candy. He's just talking. He's like, I kind of almost wish they included two things that he says. The one where he's like, you ever see that movie Psycho? He's like, Steve Martin's like, Psycho? Yeah. So he's like, yeah, that movie was, that damn near killed the shower curtain industry. You know, it's just like, yeah, it took us years to recover from that. Nowadays, people, you know, they don't have the same phobias that their parents did. But back then, oh boy, yeah, it took about 5 years for us to recuperate our loss. And then he also says, like, you ever see The Birds? Oh, that Hitchcock. Oh, he was terrible. Yeah, I had a buddy who was in the bird industry when that movie came out. Same thing.
Oh my!
You couldn't sell a bird for years after that movie came out. And then the other kind of line I wish they included, he's talking about the book. Remember the book is The Canadian Mounted?
Yeah.
It's like a dirty book.
It looks dirty.
He's reading it in the middle of the airport. So he's talking about, he's like, yeah, I do a lot of reading. Yeah, you know, the other week I was laid over in Buffalo. I was so hard up for entertainment. I read a biography on that international superstar Prince.
Oh my!
That's not his real name, by the way. It's Rogers Nelson. Just like stuff like that. Yeah, that's his real name. Yeah. I just thought, I don't know, little stuff like that. And it kind of makes sense, like when Steve Martin finally goes, it's like, all right, you know, I'm sorry to be rude, but you know, I'd like to read this article my friend wrote. It's like, oh yeah, no, don't, you know, nothing grinds my gears more than, you know, just someone that just blabbers on and on. So it kind of makes sense because in the final, I watched the deleted scenes and then I watched the movie. And in the final movie, it's just like, he's just like, oh, like, well, so what do you do, Neil Page? Marketing. Oh, marketing. Very nice. Very nice. And then that's when Steve Martin's like, you know, if you don't mind, I'd like to, it's just like very abrupt.
Yeah.
But it still works.
Yeah.
At least for me, it still works. I've seen this movie so many times like that. But this time, you could tell that they cut stuff out.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just the placebo effect, but I was like, oh yeah, you can tell they've definitely cut stuff out right there.
I think the big question is, why did they cut out the scene in the airport where John Candy's eating a hot dog and smoking a cigarette at the same time?
Yeah.
That's one thing too. We never see John when he's like, you spilled beer all over the bed, you smoke, you know, you do this and that. We don't see him smoke at all.
Yeah.
But we do, like, there's a scene where they're right before they go to bed and like he starts smoking. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm smoking a cigarette. And he's like, I can't believe you.
They do show like the nightstand right next to it as well, where there's a bunch of ash
right,
and cigarettes and stuff.
Yeah. Either way, it works. You know, it's implied and it's funny. You can tell he's really getting under Steve Martin's skin.
Oh yeah.
I think that also shows how much you can get away with in your film with getting rid of things and your plot still going. You don't have to put everything in that you film.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which I guess John Hughes recorded like a ton of film for this film.
Yeah. Yeah. Enough for it to be like a 3.5. And I was telling you guys, like he did that like for the Breakfast Club and Ferris Bueller. Like a few years ago, Criterion put out a Breakfast Club Blu-ray and I picked it up because there's like an hour of deleted scenes on that too. And it's kind of the same thing, just like nothing really that needed to be in the movie.
Yeah.
But Ferris Bueller, they've never found the deleted scenes. I don't know if they still exist, but they cut out like Ferris Bueller and his sister. They have like 2 younger siblings that they totally cut out of the movie.
Oh, interesting.
And you can see the younger girl sister in the trailer for a second. It's really weird. Really, really, yeah. I guess he just liked to shoot a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some of those scenes that you can throw them in there. It would work fine still.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, do you think the David Spade delivery boy / thief? Would you throw that back in?
You don't need it. No.
See, that's the thing with me. It's like I probably wouldn't put any of it back in, but at the same time, I really do like seeing it. It just as out of curiosity, so to speak.
I like the airplane deleted scene
Mhm.
where they're giving the old guy the bread.
Oh, that one's. Would you like a bun?
Yeah.
No, I just started. No, a bun. He doesn't want his bun. You want a bun?
That is a good bit.
Yeah.
I'd probably throw that in.
They do in the TV cut.
Yeah, the TV cut in a regular cut, the non-TV.
Yeah, it's
cut.
funny. It's a funny scene
Well, you're saying they throw that one in for TV
because they cut out the a fucking Datsun, a fucking Toyota, a fucking Mustang. Yeah,
the big F word scene.
Yeah,
Which I guess in 1 minute, Steve Martin's able to drop 27 F words,
yeah,
F bombs.
it's pretty funny.
That's
it's
a great scene.
It's like the only reason why this movie's rated R. And
Yeah.
it's very family friendly.
You take that out, and it's a straight up, just a fun classic.
I think when they're riding in the cab to the first motel, the guy's got like naked pictures of chicks in
That's
the cab.
right, yeah.
But it's very hard to see. Like, I've never even noticed it until watching the 4K.
Yeah, because I grew up, the Steve Martin movies I grew up watching, they were very family friendly type Steve Martin movies, like Cheaper by the Dozen,
Cheaper by the
Yeah.
Dozen.
Father of the
I've seen those.
Bride.
I've never seen that one.
Yeah, I wouldn't have watched it by choice. Same with Cheaper by the Dozen, really, back
Yeah.
then. But I just my family would have it on. And,
I remember the Pink Panther remake.
yeah.
Skip those ones.
Yes. Yeah.
Did you guys like Three Amigos?
That one I really like. That one's funny.
Never seen it.
That's a good one.
When I think Steve Martin, I think this film or Three Amigos.
I think of the Joik. The
Mhm.
Joik's really funny.
Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Dirty Rotten Scoundrels is really funny as well.
That's one I did choose to watch.
Yeah, that one's good. Bowfinger's funny. He's got some good stuff.
John Candy too. I think about this film or
Yeah.
like Spaceballs.
Yeah.
He's in Vacation for a second at the end at Wally World, and he's also in Home Alone for a second. He's a member of the Kenosha Kickers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Polka polka. He's the one who gets Macaulay Culkin's mom back home.
Oh, cool. Yeah, he's a great actor. I love
Yeah.
John Candy.
Well, they just work so well together in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like John Candy just sells the annoying but lovable role so well.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
That's like his whole thing.
and Steve Martin sells the whole, annoyed and frustrated and
Yes.
pissed off, but also understanding and, sort of.
He's
not-
like generous in
Yeah,
a way, but
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of just to make stuff go away. He's
Yeah,
like, "Oh yeah, I'll
right.
pay for your train ticket."
Yeah.
Oh, but you're in a different seat from me.
Yeah, I've always thought that Steve Martin and John Candy had really good chemistry, and do you guys agree?
Yeah,
Yeah. Excuse me. After seeing this, yeah.
Yeah, they work great together.
yeah. I love this. I love Steve Martin's like angry runs too. He's like
Yeah,
running with all his briefcases
yeah.
and stuff.
You messing with the wrong guy, or wherever the hell.
They keep playing
Yeah.
it too.
Yeah,
They
it's
messing
like
with the
it's
wrong
like
guy.
the "You Got Me Sick as a Dog" Jerky Boy song. Oh man, yeah.
I was wondering if that was him screaming it, like after the rental car wasn't where it was
I
supposed
think
to be.
I think so.
But it's in the song, I
I
think.
think it's no. I think so. They like made the song in post, and they just kept sampling that. You're messing with the wrong guy.
Yeah, it's funny.
Oh, it's so great. And then so he goes back into the airport. I never understood why he had his tie wrapped around his head. Does he have a toothache or something?
Like he's like an old Russian lady.
He's a babushka.
Yeah.
I think it's to keep his ears warm. I think that's what he's doing. That's the only thing that would
okay.
make sense to me.
I thought it was just
Yeah.
windy outside or something.
Or maybe that, yeah. Because I was like, wait, did he all of a sudden did he fall and like hurt his jaw? I was like, my leg. Yeah. I always thought he just looks so funny.
Yeah.
And then we get the infamous you can start by wiping that fucking smile off of your rosy fucking cheeks.
I really like the lady behind the counter.
She's in I always remember her from Ferris Bueller.
Oh, okay.
She's like, "Oh, the dorm. They think he's a righteous dude."
It's not Diana Douglas.
No, she was go down. Edie McClurg, I think. Yeah, that's her.
Oh, Edie McClurg. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was good too. I heard that she improvised a lot of her lines.
Oh, when she's on the phone or whatever.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's pretty good. And then she just says, "You're F."
Yeah, you're fucked.
That's great.
Oh boy. Oh boy, what? You're fucked.
She seems so friendly.
Yeah. I don't appreciate you talking to me like that, sir. And I don't appreciate your company leaving me in the middle of fucking nowhere with fucking keys to a fucking car that isn't fucking there. Oh, God. So funny.
Classic. What do you guys think of when they suddenly changed Steve Martin's voice?
When he gets picked up by his ball.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Is that why?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was like, his voice is suddenly very different. Okay, that makes sense.
It's so silly, but it's funny.
Yeah,
you know?
that's a good gag.
Yeah. That's so great. It's like, I've never seen a man get picked up by his testicles before. That scene is so great. He's like, I almost crushed your head like a melon. And the guy's like, get in your car out of here. He's like, what is your problem, you insensitive asshole? Yeah. It's so good, dude. So fucking funny.
Indeed. Yeah. That whole sequence though with when he picks him back up and they're eventually like driving on the wrong side of the road.
Oh yeah.
The whole scene where John Candy's trying to get his jacket off and he keeps getting it stuck on the handles.
Yeah, both eventually it's like both of his he can't use either hand.
So he's driving with his legs.
Yeah, he's like, okay, this is good.
Yeah.
Okay, you got this.
And just the part where he's listening to the mess around and just being silly and smoking and playing the keyboard on the dash. It's just so, dude, it's so funny.
Yeah. And then like the seat's all fucked up.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, I can't get the seat right in this thing. And then Steve Martin's, of course you broke it. He's like, hey, don't blame me for faulty engineering. He's like, it was fine when I got out. It's so funny.
Yeah, and like eventually Steve Martin's like gripping the dashboard so hard that his fingers
when they crash. Right after they realize they're on the wrong side of the road.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, dude.
And then like the steering wheel's like bent.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's so goddamn funny.
Reminds me of like the Looney Tunes.
They like turn to skeletons for a second.
Yeah.
Oh man, so
funny.
it's oh my God, it's so amazing.
After they like crash and everything and all the luggage goes flying, they just sit down for a minute and they both do like a double take and see the cars on fire behind them and they look back.
That's a great
and they go,
scene.
wait a minute.
Yeah. That's a great
And then they just start laughing hysterically.
Yeah. And then of course he's like, it finally happened to you. You know, you finally had something awful happen to you. And he's like, how'd you even rent a car? You know, you don't have any credit cards. He's like, oh, I just saw the girls by the couch some shower curtains. And then they show it in the movie that the guy at the first hotel screws up their cards and gives them to the opposite card holder.
Mm-hmm.
What was I gonna say? I was gonna say two things. One was when he's selling the shower curtain rings, and there's another thing too. Oh man. Well, the part where he's selling the shower curtain rings is hilarious.
As earrings.
Yeah. They're just like, these ones are made of helium, so they're very light. So these were handcrafted for the Grand Wizard of China.
Yeah, the Grand Wizard.
These are Diane Sawyer specially made earrings. Do you ever watch 60 Minutes?
Where he tells those girls that they'll look older.
Yeah, he's like,
at
you
least
could pass
18
off
years
like
old.
18 or 19. I was like, this is a Daryl Strawberry autographed shower curtain ring.
Goofy.
So funny, man.
He's a good salesman.
Yeah, that he is. Yeah, gets him some cash. Oh man, what is the other? So he realizes that he basically he uses his own credit. He uses Steve Martin's credit card to rent the car. So he's the one who has to deal with the burnt up car.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Steve Martin, man.
Yeah.
How do they sit in that?
Oh my God,
car?
when they get out and it's like steaming hot and it's like just
Yeah.
charred. So
There's
I
no.
was- how can you drive that fucking thing?
Yeah, like the whole thing's like you can tell like he tries to like turn it on so they can park it and
Yeah.
stuff, and he's like, ah.
Yeah. Yeah.
John Candy's like, I felt like a Whopper.
Yeah.
Grill marks and
yeah,
everything.
yeah, I got grill marks on my ass.
Well, this side's done. I gotta. What's next?
Oh god, I keep forgetting what I was gonna fucking say. I got like Alzheimer's. Boy. Yeah.
I like that one guy who picks them up in his pickup truck.
Yeah. Did
With
you
his
guys
wife.
recognize him?
He looks familiar.
No.
He's Dr. Connors in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy.
Ah,
The guy's gonna be Lizard, the lizard.
Dylan
And,
Baker.
Yeah. It's very. It doesn't really look like that in most movies.
No.
Yeah.
He
That's
gets out and starts hawking up like loogies and
He
stuff.
spits tobacco on his hand. He shakes Steve Martin's hand. It's so gross.
So
Yeah.
nasty.
He's like, I like when he's like, "Are you Gus's son?" He's like, "I'm Owen. You're the shower curtain fella." So funny.
He has his wife get out of the car so
Yeah.
she can pick up all the
Like,
luggage.
she's small and skinny, but she's strong. Her first baby came out sideways.
Jesus.
Didn't make a sound or whatever.
Oh my god. That's a good character
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, it's just he's only in it for what, like a minute or 2 minutes.
Mhm.
It's just so funny.
What do you guys think about the soundtrack in this one?
Oh, I like it a lot.
I like it.
Yeah.
I think it works really well.
Yeah, this like kind of synthy
Yeah.
stuff.
And it's pretty fast paced too
Yeah.
throughout the whole film.
And then, well, I also like the slow one where it's like, doo, doo, doo. Like that's good too.
Trying to
There's a
remember
lot.
that one,
It's
yeah.
it plays like when he's doing the I like me. My wife
Oh,
likes me.
yeah.
My customers like me. And then it plays again when he's on the train. He's kind of like reminiscing of their wacky adventures, and that scene's really weird too. So it cuts to them having
Yeah.
Thanksgiving dinner. You know, like it cuts to like his wife and him.
and his
and
kids and stuff.
They shot they shot John Candy having Thanksgiving with them.
Oh, okay.
That's how it was originally gonna end.
Oh, but that's
Yeah.
where they put it instead.
And it's not in the deleted scenes, so it's probably lost. Paramount probably threw it away with all the other discarded Friday the 13th footage and 48 hours footage and all the other stuff that they just threw away.
That's
I don't know.
okay.
Maybe it's with more of John Hughes' stuff. They just couldn't find it. I don't know. But yeah,
I think I like the freeze frame on John Candy's
it does
face.
work very
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Well, there's a whole other subplot where the wife thinks that Steve Martin's having an affair.
It was hinted at in this film, and you could even tell in some of the cuts, like especially when he gets home and sees her.
Well,
they're, like,
she's so
embracing each
she's
other.
like so relieved, and it kind of makes sense when
Mhm.
it turns out that this Del Griffith character is actually a real person. It's
Yeah.
actually John Candy.
Yeah, you could tell
Yeah.
there was something that was supposed to be going on there.
Yeah, well, I mean, in the final movie, it can go either way, but there's a scene where she's talking to, I think it's her mom, the character's mom, and she's like, he's been on the road for 2 years. I understand, like, he's having an affair. I'm just gonna take the kids and leave, and he can have the house, and he can spend time here with this Del Griffith character. Whatever.
That's in one of the deleted scenes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah, kind of makes it a little more serious, for lack of a better
Yeah.
word. Or,
Yeah, it does.
more of a drama, so to speak.
What do you think about that subway scene when he's riding home and he's having like warm thoughts, I guess it is about like Thanksgiving dinner. I'm about to get home with my family.
Mm,
And then he flashes back to think about what John Candy's been saying the whole time.
right.
You think that's a pretty good technique? Like
Yeah,
showing what he's thinking.
I've
I
always
guess.
liked it.
Yeah, sure.
I think it kind of
But
works.
I think it works very well.
It kind of stood out to me. Like usually we don't like have that in films.
Well, do you not like it? Do you think it like is awkward, or?
Not necessarily.
I think it works.
Yeah, I think it's just rare in films.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because I agree. You don't really see it a lot, but I think it's a very interesting way narratively
Yeah.
to show that our main character is kind of like processing certain things and coming to a conclusion.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, it shows Steve Martin's character, Neil Page, has some compassion in
Oh
him.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
He's like looking back fondly and laughing and everything, and
He's like, wait, this guy doesn't have a home.
yeah,
Yeah.
He hasn't been home in years.
right,
What does
yeah.
that mean?
And like it's kind of hinted at a lot, like he's lugging around this huge ass like crate of a suitcase, because I think it was implied that that's pretty much all that he owns for the most part. And just like other things, like, you know, when he's like when you went to call your wife, I called the hotel. It's like he's, you know, he doesn't really have anyone to talk to. Yes, he calls like the Braidwood Inn or whatever the hell right away when he gets off the plane.
Right. Yeah, there's that. It shows some nice compassion with Neil Page, and then when he lets him in, when he's just sitting outside in the cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they have a nice.
That's a really good scene too, when John Candy's kind of having like his self monologue to himself. Yeah. He's kind of like, you know,
I think he's talking to his wife.
Yeah, or but he's kind of real. Like, it's a great sort of like self realization for the character. He's like, you know, like, I meet someone I really like and I just push them away because of my big mouth or whatever. Yeah, it's really sad. It's actually a pretty sad movie when you think about it, for the most part.
Yeah.
There was apparently a scene where after he goes and picks him up, they actually talk more. They go to some sort of like cafe for a second, and John Candy kind of explains like, yeah, you know, ever since my wife died, you know, I've just been kind of latching on to people for the most part because I don't really have anybody to, you know, talk to and everything. And I guess Steve Martin said he was sad to see it get cut because it was like really showed John Candy's acting abilities.
Oh wow.
And because that's one thing too, it's just like, it is kind of awkward. Like, he just goes back, he's just like, I don't have a home, you know, my wife's been dead for 8 years. It just cuts to them just walking to the house.
Yeah.
It does feel like there's something that should have been there in the middle.
Right.
But again, it still works, you know.
Or show them having Thanksgiving together.
Yeah, it still works though.
Yeah, it does.
It's like when John Candy gets up to the house, he's like, "Oh, I'll just stay for a second and then leave," and he's like, "Just get up here,
it's
bro."
the Home Alone house. Did you guys notice that?
Really?
I was
same
wondering.
house.
It's the same fucking house. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I was like, that. It's in Chicago.
Yeah.
It's a John Hughes film.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't fully sure. I was like, that could totally be the Home Alone house.
Yeah.
Like, there you go.
Yeah.
I saw this one. Neil's house was also a set built from scratch, consisting of 7 rooms and taking 5 months to complete. It ended up costing $100,000, which angered Paramount executives and caused turmoil on the
That's
set.
hilarious. Well, I wonder if they kept it around and that's why they
Reused it for Home
in
Alone.
Home Alone. Yeah. Which is, that's not a Paramount movie, but maybe they just, I don't know, lend it to, I think it's 20th Century Fox that did that.
That's pretty crazy, though. How'd they convince them? And the house isn't even used in the film.
A little bit. It's
A little
shown
bit to come home.
Yeah. And the kids and everything, you know, a little bit. But
probably didn't have to spend $100K though.
I know. Well, again, there was more, you know, with like the wife and like them having dinner there, and it just got cut.
Yeah.
But that's $100,000. That's a lot of fucking money, especially 80s money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like probably like almost $500,000 now, probably. What were you gonna add?
Well, I watched this all alone. I watched it at my home alone.
Mm-hmm.
John Hughes reference. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is one of those movies. Like, I remember being at my family's cabin growing up a lot and seeing these types of movies. And you know, it's an '80s film. It's like set in the winter. It's, you know, a typical fun family comedy, and I feel like it would have been a better experience to watch with other people.
Yeah.
Rather than alone, because you're watching it alone and you're like, oh,
would have been nice to laugh at this with an audience. Howling in a theater
with people you have chemistry with,
right?
And you know, like family members.
We would watch this like around Thanksgiving time, and yeah, it definitely is fun to watch with people. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's called family comedy for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. One thing it makes sense now. I never knew this until kind of just delving into the deleted scenes. You notice at the end, John Candy has like a black eye?
I did, yeah.
It's because Steve Martin punched him again.
What?
They went to jail, and John Candy apparently doesn't, but Steve Martin got like a cavity search.
Oh my god!
And they're outside because like there was more with Michael McKean and everything. And
this is in the movie.
This is not. This was all deleted. This is all cut out.
Well, I mean, like it's okay. So there were scenes, not like things that actually happened.
Yeah, they didn't actually get arrested.
He got searched. They got cavity searched.
So yeah, they're talking about the cavity search, and John Candy he ended up not getting cavity search, and Steve Martin did. And they're just like their car gets impounded, and he's just like, Steve Martin, I think, is like, well, I have to call the rental car company to tell them that it's been impounded, and just let them know, like, thankfully, like, the insurance will cover the damage and everything. And John Candy's like, yeah, well, about that, Neil, I use your card to pay for the rental car. I wanted to save you a few bucks, so I skimped out on the insurance. And like he's like kind of saying it like, well, Steve Martin kind of knows. Like he's like, don't say it, Dell, don't say it. He's like, I didn't get any insurance on the car, and then he punches him in the face.
Dang.
Yeah, it makes sense. I always wonder why he had like a black eye at the end.
I thought he got muzzled
Yeah,
on the subway platform.
Yeah,
maybe, but he's got it before. He has it like right when he arrives in the cheese truck thing that they oh, and it's also Steve Martin's even more pissed off because the state trooper tells him that they've been driving like in the wrong direction. They ended up in like Wisconsin or something.
Oh,
and he's like, yeah, we're going to Chicago. He's like, well, you're 100 miles away from Chicago, right?
Oh, jeez.
It's like, what do you mean? It's like you're on a Wisconsin interstate highway or something like that.
Huh.
It's all in the script. You can find the script online.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's yeah. I would have liked to have seen that, but it's probably just gone, which sucks.
That does suck. I hate when that happens.
Yeah, I know. Bastard studios.
Yeah.
So, Ian, you were saying that this Blu-ray released just this week, right?
Yeah,
was it Monday?
Tuesday?
Fresh.
Yeah.
Fresh release.
Did you get it online?
Yeah, I got it on Amazon.
Wow, and it got here pretty quick.
I got it here on Tuesday. That's usually how it happens. Sometimes it takes a while, but
Yeah, 1 day delivery.
yeah,
Overnight.
Prime delivery.
Can you recommend buying this edition?
I think it's about $20, $21 right now. The 4K does not look that great.
Oh, really?
It looks okay. It's really, there's a process called DNR, which is digital noise reduction, where they remove all the film grain. And it looks like they did that to a lot of the scenes in this movie for the 4K. You can go on Blu-ray.com, and a lot of people are talking about it a lot more in depth than I am right now. But I don't know. It just could look a lot better. The real reason why I picked this up was the deleted scenes.
Right.
I mean, it's an hour and 15 minutes of that stuff. And
it's like a whole nother movie.
Exactly. Yeah. It really, watching the deleted scenes and then watching the movie again really almost changed my perspective on the movie.
Oh, for better or worse.
Yeah.
With that much.
I think for better. I think, yeah, nothing like ruined anything. That's for sure. If anything, it just made things a little more funny. It's like, oh, that's why the guy ripped him off, because he got pissed off because they got screwed over on a tip. It's like, oh, that's what happened with the beers and just, all this funny stuff. It's like, okay, with the smoking and, when he's like, you won my stuff last night, right? When you paid for the pizza, it's like, oh, that's what he was talking about.
Yeah, with that much extra film, you'd have to have a different perspective.
Yeah,
a little bit.
One thing, just real quick, again, just little things like, did you notice the handprints on next to the painting above them in the bed?
No.
Yeah, it's like they're implying like someone was doing it doggy style before.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
I totally missed that.
It's pretty funny. We didn't even talk about the where's your other hand?
Oh my god!
2 pillows. Those aren't pillows.
That was in the trailer too.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if that joke could fly nowadays.
Where is his hand though?
In his ass.
Between 2 pillows.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they try to play it off. See that Bears game?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's a little politically incorrect. I think it's funny. I've always thought it was funny. Just it's a very outrageous reaction, which is funny.
Yeah.
But
well, and they're like cuddling with each other. And
yeah, exactly.
Think it's your wife.
Yes. Yes. One thing too. Okay, so this scene. This is what I was going to bring up earlier when they're talking about the credit cards. Like, I've been thinking, this guy's a small time thief. We only took the cash, not the cards. Why don't we just charge our way home? You have any cards? And he's like, yeah, I got this, Neiman Marcus and blah blah blah. He's like, do you have anything? He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah. I got a card for Chalmers Big and Tall store. It's a 7-chain outlet in the Pacific Northwest region. Great stuff, but unfortunately, that doesn't do us much good here. The way he talks, man, it's just so funny.
His delivery is different.
Yeah, it's just very matter of factly. But what I went off topic. What I recommend the Blu-ray. Yeah, maybe wait for. I just wanted to see those deleted scenes so bad, especially since we were going to talk about it today. I wanted to have a decent amount to talk about while we did this, but maybe wait a little, maybe for a sale or something when it goes down to $15 or $10. It also depends on how much you like this movie. If you want to see those deleted scenes, I say yes, definitely pick it up.
Yeah.
It's worth that alone. But other than that, there's not really. See, that's the thing. Like, I kind of wish maybe like a new interview with Steve Martin or something. Nothing.
Oh, okay.
Some archival stuff they made when the movie came out. But other than that, yeah, it's kind of sad that there wasn't really much stuff added. But
yeah, no commentaries or anything.
Yeah. But you can find a lot of stuff on IMDb and everything, and there's a lot of stuff on this movie. It just would have been nice to hear more what John Candy had to say about it, and John Hughes, and I guess Steve Martin said this is one of, I don't know if it's his favorite movie he ever did, but it's one of his favorite movies he ever did, and I can agree. It's definitely up there for me for Steve Martin movies.
A classic.
Yeah.
Certified classic.
Yes,
I like the snow 80s stuff.
Yeah.
There's something about it.
Yeah, I agree.
And the acting talent they chose for this made that a lot better.
I agree.
Big poofy coats and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just the vibe.
What would you rate this one, though, Kristian, since it's your first watch through?
I give it a 4.
Nice.
It's not like the most funny thing I've ever seen, but I was pretty entertained throughout the whole thing. So, yeah, nice, good comedy for its time. Still, holds up to me still to this day.
Right.
So,
yeah, where would you rank this in John Hughes movies for you?
I don't like this as much as Breakfast Club.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I'm a pretty big Breakfast Club guy.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I don't know if Home Alone's such a classic to me. I know it's very referenced and always on TV and everything every year, but I guess my third favorite John Hughes film.
Okay,
I would say.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you put it above Beethoven's Treasure Tale?
Yeah.
God.
Did he make that?
I don't know if he did that.
I don't, unless he came back from the dead.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, it's not better than it's better than any Beethoven movie.
Did he? He wrote. Oh wow! I didn't know he wrote Beethoven. Not a big fan of that movie.
I saw the second one.
I've seen like all of them up to like the third or fourth one, and even as a kid, I was just like, this shit's pretty lame.
I always hated the trailers for Beethoven.
I don't even know if I saw
the trailer guy would always be like, Beethoven's back.
Yeah.
In his biggest adventure yet.
Yeah.
Baby.
It's like, wow. Woof woof.
Yeah, fucking dog. Well,
Merry Woofmas.
Who cares about the dog? Well,
are these even Christmas movies? What are they?
Do you prefer Air Bud or Beethoven?
Oh, Air Bud.
Oh, okay.
All day, baby, all day.
Yeah. Even Air Bud too.
Oh. Golden Receiver.
Not a golden retriever.
He's a golden receiver.
Ian, what would you rate Planes, Trains, and Automobiles?
Oh man, I unfortunately I keep doing it and I don't want to, but I have to. To me it's a 5.
Oh, okay.
I have no complaints with this movie.
Hell yeah.
Nothing in it I would change or would say is detrimental to it. I really have no complaints about it. I mean, it's probably nostalgia. I've been watching this movie since I was very young, so that probably plays a factor in it. But
Yeah.
I think it's probably John Hughes' best movie,
Definitely.
in my opinion. The best movie he directed, and probably the best thing he ever wrote, personally.
Wow.
I think so.
I think I saw that he wrote it after having an experience like this where his plane got he was trying to go to Chicago and it went to Wichita, Kansas or something like that.
That's cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. I do like Kristian, I do really like Breakfast Club. I really like Weird Science and 16 Ferris Bueller. And I like a lot of the stuff that he wrote. Like there's another one. You guys ever seen The Great Outdoors?
No.
Oh, dude, that movie. It's with John Candy and Dan Aykroyd. That movie's really funny too.
I think I saw that once a long time ago.
It's pretty funny.
Also watched at my cabin.
I recommend that one. That one's pretty good.
There's a lot of John Candy movies at my cabin.
Can't go wrong with John Candy movies.
John Cabin.
But yeah, it's a great. It might be my favorite Steve Martin movie. It might be my favorite John Candy movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great movie of the '80s. It's just a great movie overall. And yeah, I keep giving them, but hopefully we'll start talking about more shitty movies so I can
I know,
lower
for real.
my grade. But yeah, it's a 5 for me. It's just a great movie.
Nice.
Yeah, what about you?
I'm trying to think of something to ding it on,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't give
It's
it a
tough.
5. Yeah.
It's tough.
I mean, the soundtrack worked for me this time. I know I complain about a lot of 80s soundtracks being almost outdated and synthy and stuff, but I don't know why this one works.
Yeah, it does. It really fits the mood of the movie.
Yeah, and I found myself still laughing out loud even to
Yeah,
this day
yeah,
after watching it so
same.
many times.
Same with me.
A lot of the bits stay in my head permanently, and it's kind of I don't know if the word's topical or if it still like applies today, but we have messy airports still to this
Right.
day.
Yeah.
Travel's
Especially
always
now.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Post COVID.
Yep.
I know a family member who just missed their flight to Kansas, so they had to
Oh,
reroute
wow.
and stuff. So
Yeah, it sucks.
yeah,
That happened
Yeah.
to me last year.
Yeah.
Coming back from New York, I got stuck in Charlotte, North Carolina.
oh
If
Jesus,
only Del Griffith were there.
But I tried the best barbecue ever, so that was nice.
Del Griffith would have. There's really good barbecue. I sold the owner some shower curtain rings a few years ago. He'll hook us up.
Well,
even like the the dirty bathroom scene
Oh,
when he
God.
just has a wash rag
So
to
gross.
dry himself off. I feel like I've been in that situation
Yeah.
before.
Oh yeah.
It's so nasty.
yeah.
Ugh.
Where he's washing his face with his underpants.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, it's a very relatable film,
Yeah.
and there's that anger and that pressure in the holidays. You have to get home. It's almost Thanksgiving. Let's
Right.
go. And in the end, you might end up saying the F word 27 times in a
Yeah.
minute.
Yeah.
At the end of the holiday.
Oh man,
Yeah, but two titans of comedy, Steve Martin, John Candy. You really can't go wrong with this movie.
Yeah.
And like we were saying, this is like the only Thanksgiving film
At
to
least
show around this time.
mainstream, at least.
Yeah.
There's other stuff that you can find.
Yeah, I really can't ding it on anything. I gotta go 5 out of 5, guys.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's a great
Yeah.
film.
Yeah. No, it's great. It's just, and again, it's just you buy their bond.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
just it's very just well written.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I could see someone saying maybe it's, I don't know, maybe someone could say it's too sappy or too sentimental, but I don't know. I just think it fits the movie just really well.
Yeah.
yeah, it does. I'm just being the based one this time.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's
Totally
fine.
I have nothing against it.
We're just the cheerleaders this go around.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great.
Yeah, we recommend it though.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you guys know what we're watching next week?
I don't know.
Saturday?
I
Jenga.
have no idea.
You wanna watch Jenga?
I watched Django and Jane.
Jenga?
We should do that for the
Django.
10th anniversary.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, the third, we were going to try to watch the Star Wars Christmas special.
We do the Guardians of the Galaxy special.
Oh, when's that one coming out?
Is that
It came
already
out.
out? Yeah.
It's out?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that'd be fun. And
Then
then
you guys.
the week
anything.
after that, watch out on December 9th, The Whale with Brendan Fraser's coming out.
Yeah. I
I'm
want to
gonna
go see
be-
that.
Yeah, I'm going to be running to the theater for that one.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Yeah, but thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks
thank
for
you very
being here,
much.
guys.
Yeah.
Hope you all had a happy,
Yeah. Exactly.
tasty Thanksgiving.
Hopefully you didn't get trapped in an airport like
Yeah.
us. We're still at the airport. Actually, we're recording from.
yeah.
yeah.
We're going to be stuck here for a while,
Yeah,
guys, waiting on our
exactly,
flight.
Yeah. Exactly.
Get your Thanksgiving leftover sandwiches.
We're gonna be eating our turkey roll right here.
I'm going to grab a hot dog and a swirl.
There you go. You gotta tee it up there.
Yeah.
The points.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah. Thank you.
Laters.